What's up YouTube, Winners here, and today we're going to go over some video settings and connection settings tips for your Xbox 360 and connection based games. So let's get started. First you want to go into your menu here, go over to settings, system settings, console settings, display. In your display settings, generally I don't set anything above 720p. This is because most games on the Xbox 360, they don't support anything higher than 720p. And also for my rendering purposes, I do a lot of recordings and things like that. And for rendering purposes, it just makes sense as far as my Hotpodge, it only supports up to 1080i. And I really like the quality of 720p. It gives good quality. And if you set it higher, you're going to incur post-processing either on your Xbox 360 or on your HD TV, because most Xbox 360 games don't support anything higher than 720p. The next tip I have for you is setting up your router properly to get an open NAT on the Xbox 360. What you want to do is log into your router, which you can find your router IP address and log in by Googling your router and manufacturer. Most of them are 192.168.1.1 on the Xfinity network. Mine's 10.0.0.1. But anyway, once in here, you go down to advanced, and there's a couple ways you can do this. For me, I've got mine set on device discovery here. I've got UPnP enabled and zero config enabled, and what this does, it automatically finds the ports that need to be opened and gives me an open NAT when on the Xbox 360. I've also got port forwarding set up, which I'm not using right now, but in order to do this, what you do is you either edit or add whatever ports need to be opened for the game that you're playing. Like for Black Ops 2, this one is for Black Ops 2 here. You'll want to have port 3074 open, and you want that open on TCP and UDP. Once you have all this set up, and if you still don't have an open NAT, worst case scenario, you can go into DMZ mode, which is a demilitarized zone. And you can set up a DMZ host, which what this will be is your default router gateway IP here. Like mine is, because mine is 10.0.0, and in the last box you can put whatever up to 250 something. But I don't use that. You can use that, and what that will do is it should give you all open ports on your Xbox 360, because what you'll do once you have this set up is you'll go back to your Xbox 360 and enter this IP in, and I'll show you that in a second. Now, if you're using port forwarding or DMZ, on some routers they will require you to disable the UPnP and zero config, otherwise you will never get an open NAT. Once you have your DMZ or port forwarding set up, you want to go back to your Xbox 360 and go back into the settings, system settings, network settings. Once here, you choose the network that you're on. I'm on a wired network, and go to configure network. Now for me, since I have mine set up to the UPnP, I have mine set on automatic, and it gives me an open NAT. I have no problems. Now if you want to use your port forwarding or DMZ, you click on this and go to manual, and in here you'll enter the IP address that you chose under the port forwarding or DMZ. Your subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0, and your gateway will be your default router IP address, whatever the IP address is you use to log into your router. You can also, if you want to change your DNS settings or find the best DNS settings, you can set these to manual, primary DNS, and secondary DNS. download a program. It's called Namebench. I'll put links in the description, and run that, and it will give you your best DNS servers to use to connect. Now, another thing I wanted to cover in this is to eliminate most post-processing and input lag. If your TV has a game mode, make sure that's enabled. You don't want to play in the highest definition settings or anything like that, because it makes a lot of post-processing issues on your television. So if your game mode has enable that, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.